When he stopped, I lay bleeding, one eye swollen shut, ribs broken. He spat. "Try to leave again, and I'll kill you." He kicked me again, demanding dinner when he returned, then left. I dragged myself to the phone, calling my sister, Sarah Dawson. "Sarah, help. Richard beat me badly." She and her husband Thomas came quickly, horrified. "We're going to the hospital," Thomas said. "No, he'll find me." They took me to their home, where Sarah cleaned my wounds. "How long has this been going on?" she asked. I sobbed, telling all. The abuse, Clara's betrayal. "Why didn't you leave?" "I thought I could fix him." Thomas shook his head. "A man who hits a woman only gets worse." The next morning, my face unrecognizable, Sarah convinced me to report Richard. At the police station, the officer seemed bored. "Do you want to press charges?" "It could ruin his life," I insisted. A medical exam listed my injuries: bruises, a cut needing stitches, 2 broken ribs, head trauma, kidney injury. The doctor whispered, "If you go home, he'll kill you." I stayed with Sarah. 3 days later, Thomas said Richard had fled, quitting his job, taking clothes and papers. Clara was gone too. The store owner visited, saying Richard took an advance and materials: cement, lime, tools. A chill hit me. Cement, tools, and blood on the bed. A week later, my parents returned, horrified. "You should have told us," my dad said, tears in his eyes. "You thought you'd disappoint us? Never." I took leave from school, the principal promising my job would wait. I moved back to my childhood bedroom, rebuilding day by day. A month later, police arrived. "Mrs. Emily, we found your husband." My heart froze. They took me to a property Clara owned, a horror scene with police and tape. Clara's body was in a makeshift grave, beaten to death, buried in cement and lime. Richard tried to flee, fought police, and died in a shootout. They'd planned to run away, but a fight turned deadly. Neighbors heard screams, but didn't act until a foul smell emerged. I pitied Clara, who met Richard's true self, and paid with her life. Pikeville's papers screamed, "Crime of passion ends in tragedy." My name was everywhere, my wedding photos beside crime scenes. I became the killer's widow, shunned, whispered about. Parents pulled kids from my class. The school let me go under pressure. I sank into depression, barely eating, drowning in guilt. Could I have saved Clara? My mom insisted it was Richard's fault, not mine, but I couldn't believe her. My dad saved me, entering my room one September Sunday with 2 bus tickets. Louisville, a big city by the Ohio River. "We're starting over, daughter. No one knows us there." On October 10th, 1975, at 24, widowed and scarred, I left Pikeville. The 12-hour bus ride showed mountains fading into city lights. Crossing the Ohio River, my dad said, "Beautiful, isn't it?" I felt hope for the first time in months. In Louisville, with no home or jobs, we stayed in a downtown inn. My dad, ever practical, found work at the port and a room in Butchertown. I lived like a shadow, haunted by nightmares, but Louisville's bustle let me hide. No one asked about my past. The Ohio River's glimmer from my window became my comfort, a symbol of new beginnings. My dad urged me out, taking me to the Riverside Park. Slowly, my fear eased. There, I met Beatrice Coleman, an ice cream vendor with a warm smile. "You're carrying too much, girl," she said, handing me a funnel cake. Her words broke me. I cried for an hour. She held me, saying, "Let it out, then we'll talk." I told her everything: Richard, Clara, the escape. Beatrice listened, then took my hand. "You survived. You're stronger than it all." Her words shifted my view. I wasn't a victim, but a survivor. She offered me work at her diner in Haymarket. My dad, initially wary, met Beatrice and her husband Edward and saw their goodness. In January 1976, I started at the diner, washing dishes, wiping tables. The market's noise scared me, but Beatrice was patient. little by little, every day. The pay was small, but it helped. My mom joined us and we rented a 2-room apartment in Portland, luxury after our tiny room. Her recipes, plants, and embroidery brought back home's warmth. "This city's wonderful," she said. "We breathe better here." I smiled more, slept better, feared less. At the market, I met dock workers, herb sellers, and kids stealing fruit. Beatrice gave coffee and bread to the homeless, saying, "Everyone carries pain." Her wisdom healed me, showing I wasn't alone. I found my joy again, teaching vendors' kids after work, using crates as desks, charcoal on cardboard. "Are you a real teacher?" a boy asked. I was. Life took it away. "Can't you get it back?" His question hit me. Richard was gone. No one here knew my shame. I told my parents I wanted a college degree to teach again. My dad beamed. "If that's what you want, you'll have it." I worked days, studied nights, and at 26 passed the University of Louisville's education program exam, ranking 20th. College opened new worlds, Dewey, Montessori, ideas that shaped lives. I kept teaching market kids, now with better methods. Parents noticed their kids reading, doing math, asking questions. "It's magical," Beatrice said. "It's education," I replied. In 1979, I interned at a Smoketown public school teaching 30 kids, many struggling. The room was stuffy, desks broken, but to me, it was a palace. "I'm Miss Emily, and I believe in you," I told them. I saw myself in their faces, hurt but strong, survivors. By year's end, 28 of 30 could read and write. I fought for support for the other 2. The principal offered me a contract. "You have a gift." That December, at 28, I graduated. My parents beamed. Beatrice brought pastries. I spoke for my class. It's never too late to become who you were meant to be. I had a career, purpose, family, friends. The past hurt less. In March 1980, the past returned. The principal said someone needed me urgently. In the hallway stood Helen Brooks, Richard's sister. "It's about my grandson," she said. Richard's son with Clara. Clara was pregnant when she died, leaving a 4-year-old Noah. Helen, dying of cancer, couldn't care for him. "You're Richard's wife, legally his closest kin. The boy's innocent." I resisted, but met Noah, black hair, big eyes, a smile like Richard's. "Who's that lady?" he asked. "Your friend Emily," Helen said. I saw a scared child, not Richard or Clara. "Give me one day," I told Helen. That night, I walked by the river, wrestling with fear. How could I raise Richard's son? But how could I abandon a child to an orphanage? I knew what it was to be marked by a story not your own. My mom said, "Bring him home. He's our grandson." The next day, I told Helen, "I'll keep him." She gave me Noah's papers, crying, "Thank you." I crouched to Noah. "I'm Emily. Will you live with me? There's a park nearby." His eyes sparkled. "I like parks." My parents welcomed him with cake and toys. That night, hearing his soft breathing, I knew I'd heal myself and break the cycle of Richard's violence. Raising Noah was hard. He cried for Helen, struggled with the new home. "Why doesn't Aunt Helen come?" "She's sick, honey." I told him his parents went to heaven, asking me to care for him. I enrolled him in school, bought clothes, adjusted my schedule. My parents helped. When Helen died, I told Noah she was in heaven. He cried but grew attached, calling me Aunt Em. In July 1980, I adopted him. In October, Noah Bennett became Noah Harper, my son. In the 80s, raising him as a single teacher was tough. Tight money, endless needs. I tutored weekends, but every sacrifice was worth it seeing Noah happy, healthy, talented at painting. In 1982, I became an educational coordinator, earning more. Are you the boss now, Mom? Noah asked. I help teachers, like I help you. We bought a small house, planting flowers like my mom's. I felt I belonged, with a future. In 1985, at 34, I met James Sullivan, a math teacher from Tennessee, gentle and patient. His kindness shone helping students, bringing coffee to stressed staff. When Noah had appendicitis, James came to the hospital. I'll stay till your parents arrive. He stayed post-surgery, easing tension with jokes. Are we friends? He asked. I hope so. Friendship became dinners, outings, shy kisses. I feared trusting again, haunted by Richard. My mum said, don't let ghosts steal your future. James was patient, respecting my pace. In 1987, he proposed at dinner with Noah. Can we be a family? Noah answered first. Will you be my dad? If your mum agrees. I saw Noah needed a father, not just my protective lies. Yes, I said, tearing up. Our simple wedding had Noah as ring bearer, my dad giving me away again. Certain of a happy ending, James moved in naturally. Noah first called him dad during a backyard soccer game, running to hug him. In 1988, I became principal of New Hope Elementary, a struggling school. James urged me, if anyone can change it, it's you. I knew every student, cut dropouts by 60%, improved literacy, added a garden and library. How? An official asked. Together teachers, students, families. In 1990, at 39, I learned I was pregnant. A miracle after Richard's trauma. James cried. Noah, 40, asked, will you love the baby more? Never. You're my firstborn. Lily was born in June 1991, fast and painless. Noah adored her, changing diapers, drawing to lull her to sleep. Life felt perfect family. Career, fading ghosts.